Hello everyone! Welcome to the K-Star channel. Who would have thought that behind her intense gaze and graceful aura as the lead actress in the drama Perfect Crown, IU has a comedian side that successfully lightens up the atmosphere on set. Behind-the-scenes footage reveals how overwhelmed Byeon Woo Seok and the entire crew were at holding back laughter due to the actress's magical antics. In one scene at a grand royal banquet, the table was filled with mouth-watering real food props. While Byeon Woo Seok was intently immersing himself in his role as the cold prince, he suddenly froze upon seeing IU. Instead of eating gracefully, IU was seen chewing air with a look of pure enjoyment while gazing at the crew's fried chicken in the distance. When asked by the director, IU replied with an innocent face, "I'm on a diet through imagination. Don't disturb my concentration." Byeon Woo Seok, who was right in front of her, immediately failed to keep his cool and burst out laughing, requiring a reshoot. Then when the hanbok worn by IU in Perfect Crown did look very heavy and layered. However, instead of feeling burdened, IU was caught on camera by the documentation team trying to do a Spider-Man-style warm-up movement during a break complete with a web shooting pose. The crew who was setting up the lights was shocked because they thought IU had slipped. In fact, she was only trying to check whether the hanbok was elastic enough for the action scene. Byeon Woo Seok, who saw the strange sight, could only shake his head while saying, "Looks like I have to keep my distance so as not to be infected with this strange energy," while laughing. It wouldn't be IU if she didn't sing. However, this time she used her large hairpin as a makeshift microphone. While the crew was busy setting up the silent set, suddenly a melodious voice was heard singing a trot song with an exaggerated sengkak. It turned out it was IU who was entertaining the staff who were starting to get sleepy. Spontaneously, the atmosphere that had been tense due to the busy filming schedule turned into a lively one. Byeon Woo Seok even gave a standing ovation, even though he admitted to being shocked by IU's explosive extrovert side. IU's mischief reached its peak when she secretly printed out photos of Byeon Woo Seok's sleepy expression while on break and made them into small stickers. Without the actor realizing it, IU stuck the stickers on the backs of the crew's jackets and even on the back of the director's script. Byeon Woo Seok only realized this when he was surprised why everyone he passed was always holding back a smile. Once he knew the perpetrator was IU, he could only surrender with a small laugh, while IU was already hiding behind her large fan, giggling with satisfaction. To build tension in the emotional romantic scene, the director asked the two to stare at each other for a long time without blinking. The crew had turned off all the sound to create a very quiet and serene atmosphere. However, in the midst of the silence, IU's stomach suddenly made a very loud rumble. Instead of being embarrassed, IU looked at Byeon Woo Seok seriously and said, "That's not my stomach. That's the cry of her character's soul thirsting for love and carbohydrates." This sentence shattered Byeon Woo Seok's defenses, who immediately collapsed in laughter. Despite her often bizarre antics, the crew testified that IU was the first to arrive and the last to leave. Her playful antics were actually her way of lightening the tense atmosphere so the staff wouldn't feel stressed by the tight filming schedule. Byeon Woo Seok himself, in a brief interview, stated, "Working with IU is a surprise every day. You never know if she'll be a genius actress or a top comedian today. But honestly, she's the one who keeps the energy on set stable." The combination of her dedication to work and her cheerful personality made Perfect Crown one of the most harmonious filming locations of the year. It's no wonder their closeness behind the scenes shines through in their outstanding acting on camera.